So, technical difficulties and weather made it so that you're going to hear some rain in the background, but it's fitting. It's fitting. Um, I've been thinking about this week what I wanted to do for the show because it's June 5th, 2020, and it's been a week. An emotional week. Um, Finding the right things to say and um, watching the protests and everything happening in the country, the world, even. Um, all, it's. I'm still having trouble finding the right words, and that's pretty simple. I'm a cisgender white dude. Um, I my privilege makes it so that I don't necessarily have the right words to say. Um, I you know, we I was working on a couple episodes to post this week, um, and now I'm pushing them until next week. And I considered not posting anything this week, and then I saw this podcast blackout thing, and um, it it felt like the right thing to participate in. Um, Again, I don't know that I'm the right person to speak on the Black Lives Matter movement. Um, I agree with it 100%, support it 100%. And I I'm educating myself. I've been horrified by the video of the officers that killed George Floyd. And it's a shame that it took another killing of a black person to get to this point where there's protests in 50 states of America. Protests in countries around the world. And while the conversation seems to be deeply rooted in America, racism is not inherently an American thing. It's all over the world. And I I know very little to offer any kinds of words of comfort, I guess. All I know is that while I feel like I've matured over the years and I've become a more woke person, as the kids say, I'm not. You know, unless you're actively against it, racism, meaning, and something that I've grown to appreciate are the words of encouragement that there's more than one lane to progress. You don't have to go to protest if you can't. People have their reasons not to. Um, but donating your money, keeping the word going about the movement helps. And there are a bunch of great resources out there. And I've been trying to retweet them all and whatnot. And um, and it's made me realize that there's a past to my life that I'm deeply ashamed of. I always knew that oh, that was just young Kev. That was just young Kev. And this week I started thinking about it a lot because back in high school I had this friend Q, Quentin. We called him Q. He was an African American, a black kid, a man now, and we bonded over wrestling. And I was thinking about him this week because, this is a kid who, at the time, I was very WWE, or F at the time, wrestling fan. And this is a kid who went out of his way before DVDs existed and made me a best of VHS tape of Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels is my guy in wrestling. He knew that. And he went out of his way to do that for me. We weren't best friends, but we were very good friends. We drifted apart after high school. Definitely after graduation. Maybe after 11th grade. I'm got a really bad memory, so I can't remember exactly. But I think about the time between high school and my mid-20s as I started getting into podcasting and hanging out with different people, more quote-unquote mature people. I use that term loosely because I guess what I meant is other kids outside of my high school graduating class that were also 18 to 20 years old. And there's... And anyone that's listened to me podcasting for as many years as I have know that those early years of podcasting were shock jockey. And I've always talked about it and always said that was, it was the time, it was the place. And, thinking back to the James Gunn thing where he got fired from Disney for tweets that he had 10 years prior. And I always said, you know what? You show that you change as a person and that you're truly sorry, and then, forgiveness. And I just think about that time of my podcasting, early career podcasting in the 2007 to 2010 era, I guess. And I just think about what Q would think and how ashamed and heartbroken. Well, he wouldn't be ashamed. How heartbroken he would be in me. And that's thinking about Q and thinking about my neighbors. Thinking about some old wrestling friends of mine that I still talk to. They're now podcasting friends of mine, who I invite on panels all the time. Rodney and Anthony. And how, without knowing it, I was a terrible friend to them by staying silent. And I still know shit. I just know that I need to do better. Not for me, for them. I need to do better for my kids so that they know that staying silent is not an option. Because my kids will never have a fear of going out of the house, just like I never had a fear of going out of the house. Never had a fear of going to Wawa wearing a hoodie at night. Never had a fear of going on a late night drive without a license. And there is a fear that I have to assume a black or brown person has, or any person of color. Today's conversation is about Black Lives Matter. And I have to assume, without putting words in anyone's mouth, that they probably have a fear of going out at night on a late night drive, wearing a hoodie, going to a convenience store. Something in the back of their minds, or in the forefront of their minds, that I as a white person will never have. And I will never know what that feels like. There's a great saying going around, I understand, I will never understand. However I stand. And that's great to say it. It's great to tweet it. But I need to, and when I say we, I mean white people, need to educate themselves. There's a bunch of resources that someone more qualified than me can throw out to you, and I've been retweeting them and talking about them on social media, so please look them up at That Nerdy Kev. Look at my recent retweets and find some stuff. Educate yourself. These are 4 books I'll be reading over the next few weeks to educate myself. Stamped from the beginning. A People's History of the United States. White Fragility. And So You Want to Talk About Race. And the first thing you need to do to be serious, take this serious, you need to admit to yourself, again, and I'm talking to the white people out there, admit your white privilege to yourself. We all are born with white privilege, myself included. It will never, ever go away. And once you realize that, you can start educating yourself and be someone who stands for their fellow man and won't accept that they're looked at as lesser because of the color of their skin. This list is going to be missing a lot of names. A lot of names missing from this list. And I thank the people behind the Cult 45 podcast for providing this list to help participate in this podcast blackout. Trayvon Martin, age 17, killed in 2012. Tamir Rice, age 12, killed in 2014. Michael Brown, age 18, killed in 2014. Sandra Bland, age 28, killed in 2015. Freddie Gray, age 25, killed in 2015. Elton Sterling, age 37, killed in 2016. Philando Castile, age 32, killed in 2016. Botham Jean, age 26, killed in 2018. Atatiana Jefferson, age 28, killed 2019. Ahmed Aubrey, age 25, killed 2020. Doug Lewis, age 39, killed 2020. Breonna Taylor, age 26, killed in 2020. And George Floyd, age 46, killed 2020. Once again, A, I apologize for mispronouncing any names on that list. B, it's not a complete list. We have to be better.